Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show Powered by Primanti Bros. This is the North Carolina podcast presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With us, live from Cincinnati, Jim Rosati. Jim, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing pretty good. That was a quick game, so we're here doing the postgame show pretty quick. Sadly, just nothing going right for the Pirates offense today. But yeah, we're here. It's a beautiful day. Saw some baseball. But yeah, Pirates lost, and they're now 1-3 on the year.
Yeah, well, you did say it is a quick game, 2 hours, 17 minutes, much different from what we saw in New York. So you didn't get your money's worth tonight. No,
I was hoping for the Pirates to make a little run there, a little rally in the ninth inning, so we could extend this a little bit. But they came up short. They tried.
Yeah, definitely. You said, I mean, they did try. They had two guys on base, leadoff walk, then the second guy gets on by walk, and 1, 2, 3 out. And I feel like that was the story of the night. I mean, the offense just was not producing. Two guys are producing. It's like what we talked about today on Bucko Brew. The newly acquired Ryan O'Hearn and Brandon Lowe just carrying this offense. That's what happened tonight. 9 guys got on base today, and 6 of them were those two.
Yeah, and I think I think there were only 6 at bats with runners in scoring position. You can check on that, but I'm pretty sure the Pirates went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. But yeah, Brandon Lowe 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Ryan O'Hearn 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Ryan O'Hearn extended his MLB leading hitting streak that carried over from last year to 13 games. But yeah, I mean, outside those 2 guys, like you mentioned, just it was rough. It was really rough. Oneil Cruz 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Bryan Reynolds 0 for 4, strikeout, double play. Henry Davis 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. It was a rough night offensively. And I mean, I'll say this, like Chase Burns, the pitcher they faced today, he looked rock solid in his season debut as well.
Yeah, no, he really did. And it was like ironic that he came out the game looking kind of flat. A lot of balls being thrown. I think at one point it was 8 out of 11 were all balls, walks. Well, he threw balls to Oneil Cruz. Cruz ends up getting out by, I think, a fly out, ground out, whatever it was. But then Brandon Lowe gets on base. It looked like, honestly, it was funny. It looked like he had no intentions of throwing to Brandon Lowe. I mean, both times he walked him and nothing close. It was almost like the game plan was like, you know what, just allow Brandon Lowe to get on base by a walk, not a home run, and just get through this lineup. And that's pretty much what he did. You know, after those 2 batters, he settled down, and like you mentioned, he looked really good with 7 strikeouts on the day for him. Yeah, Chase Burns, 5 innings, 3 walks, but 7 strikeouts.
7 strikeouts, 15 swings and misses. The fastball was working really well for him. And yeah, the only hit off of him was that single from Brandon Lowe, who also walked twice against him too. So yeah, it was especially early on. Pirates didn't get a hit, I don't think, until the 5th inning in this game.
Yep.
But early on, it was basically, walk Brandon Lowe, walk Ryan O'Hearn, and just go ahead and get everybody else out. And that strategy worked for the Reds today.
Yeah, it certainly did. You talked about the strikeouts. There was 11 in total, now 5 walks. But again, just 4 hits. You're not going to do much. I mean, that was the one thing that we mentioned with this offense. Like, at least in the Mets series, they were collecting hits. Obviously, runners in scoring position was a problem. Clear that still carried over today, but today they weren't even getting on base at all. As mentioned, just the 9 batters that reached. Horwitz got a hit. Gonzalez got a hit. Those are the 2 other hits. And then Ozuna got the other walk. This team is it's carrying over from 2025 in just a very, very bad way.
It's just frustrating because you were hoping, and you're going to have games like this, right? But this game is exactly what we did all last season, right? I mean, the Pirates also only gave up 2 runs. They gave up 4 hits. Braxton Ashcraft went 6 innings for the first time in his career. A lot of really good positive things happening from the pitching side of things for the Pirates, but just the offense was non-existent. Outside Brandon Lowe and Ryan O'Hearn, just no one showed up today. It was a pretty pathetic display by 7 different guys in this lineup.
Yeah, like I said, the offense was bad. Let's kick it over to Braxton Ashcraft. We'll talk about, I want to talk about the defense a little bit here as well, or lack of in some ways. And of course the bullpen, but let's definitely talk about Ashcraft because, we have a lot of high hopes on him, in our over and unders and just talks. Like, he could potentially be like the second best pitcher. I mean, there's a real debate. Is it going to be him or Bubba Chandler that steps up this year as that guy? Bubba Chandler's a highly touted prospect. Still technically a prospect. So, Braxton Ashcraft, a lot of hype coming in. Obviously, the 4 walks isn't what you want to see, but it looked like he had the curveball going. Yes, he did go 6. That's good to see, giving up just 2 earned. A very, very interesting 4th inning, I'll say. 5 really hard hit balls. That's where the 2 runs came in. But what was your takeaway from Braxton Ashcraft today?
Yeah, it was really just that 1 inning. That was the only blip on the radar. I mean, that in that 4th inning, gave up 2 hits, gave up a triple, and that's when all the damage was done. 3 out of the 4 hits he gave up today were in that inning. But I thought he looked sharp. The curveball was working for him, especially early on. At one point, I think through the first 2 innings, he had 5 swings and misses on 7. It was 5 for 7 on swings and misses on that curveball. But yeah. I mean, that's the longest outing of his career. 2 runs. He did walk 4. Only struck out 3, so like it's not like he was getting a ton of strikeouts, tons of swing and misses, but he was getting outs. And I mean, at the end of the day, 6 innings, 2 runs, you'll take that every day.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I think he was a standout for sure. This is the Reds offense that, it doesn't scare you. This isn't the Mets offense, but it definitely has talent here. And of course, Elly De La Cruz is one of those talents, where Elly De La Cruz goes 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout today. But yeah, Braxton Ashcraft, he impressed me. He looked good. He had his stuff working. It wasn't super effective, like where I felt like Chase Burns was throwing balls very early. Braxton Ashcraft was kind of throughout. He wasn't totally sharp. The 4, like I mentioned, the 4 walks, 2 of them came later in that. But yeah, I felt like just that 1 inning, he was getting hit very hard, all 5 on the fastball, and that caused the damage. But then it was nice. The thing is, he settled down afterwards, right? That happened. It's in the past. What do you do moving forward? And he finished out the game with 2 strong innings to cap it off to go 6. That's what spoke to me. We had a conversation about Carmen Mlodzinski a starter and whatnot. Braxton Ashcraft hasn't been a starter for his MLB career for the most part. He's come up that way. This, to me, is proving himself to be he's every bit of a starter.
Yeah, that 6th inning was pretty impressive too, because I want to say the leadoff batter got on that inning, and then he was able to work around that, get through that inning, finish the outing, because I think he put that runner on, and I was like, when are they going to start warming somebody up? And it took them a while. They eventually got Mattson warming up there, but yeah, he let someone get on base there in the 6th and finish the outing. So it was a strong start. Like you mentioned, it wasn't like his best stuff. 3 strikeouts. So it's nice to see him have results like this when he wasn't at his best, because we've seen him at his best and he's nasty.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And like I mentioned, the curveball was really going from early on. That was the pitch he threw the most, 29, followed by his 4-seamer at 23, his sinker 20, and his slider at 15, which he had some, to me, at the very end, that 6th inning, he capped it off, throwing that slider really nice up in the zone there. But yeah, again, he had his pitches going for him. He looked pretty good. Certainly a guy still is on my radar. I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year. So anything else on Braxton that you want to highlight and talk about?
Yeah, and the fastball averaged 96.4, mixed up his pitches well. He was heavy curveball, especially against the lefties, but led with that curveball, fastball, sinker, slider. He threw everything today, pretty even. Didn't throw a single pitch more than 33% of the time, which was the curveball. So, yeah, he flashed his whole arsenal today, and like I said, it was good enough for the quality start.
Love it. And again, Jim live in Cincinnati on the field. I just got to pull this up because I just saw it. Anthony asks, "Hey Jim, how much can we pay you to not show up for the next 2 games?"
Yeah, you know what? This is rough. Like, I was in Indianapolis this weekend. Indians lose Saturday. Indians lose Sunday. Here in Cincinnati today. Pirates lose today. I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. I won't be at the game Wednesday. Boy. So if they lose tomorrow and win Wednesday, then yeah, I think I might be cooked.
The Rosati curse is back on.
Well, at one point in the 5th, when we were getting no hits, I was like, this is just taking the curse to a whole new level. I was like, are we about to get no hit here?
Yeah, for sure, man. What are you doing there? I thought this was a good idea. We're sorry, everyone.
Yeah, my bad.
All right. So, yeah, Braxton, again, he looked pretty good. The offense didn't show up. I do want to talk a little bit here because, Jim, we talked about it earlier on. You can make the argument. I'm not saying it's a good one, right? But we said you can make the argument that Jared Triolo versus lefties leading off is the right call with this lineup the way it's currently constructed. But what was he doing batting fifth the other day? Today he's batting sixth. Jared Triolo, and it was a big spot. And I know Spencer Horwitz didn't really come through in a big way today either. He was just 1 for 4 with the strikeout. But, like, Spencer Horwitz is batting behind Jared Triolo at this point in time, who's batting after Ryan O'Hearn, who gets on base. Like, what's going on here?
Well, I mean, it really came to light in that 9th inning, right? So, like, Ozuna leads off the inning with a walk. O'Hearn, walk. Now you've got runners on first and second, nobody out. And, you would love to have Horwitz up in that situation. Instead, you've got Jared Triolo up. And this was the most frustrating moment of the game for me. And I was back in the tunnel, like waiting to come onto the field at this point because I was like, this game's probably going to be over. So I'm watching the game with the security guard back there. And the first pitch. So Connor Phillips was the closer for the Reds. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Walk.
Mm-hmm.
Mound visit. First pitch. It's like 2 feet outside. The pitch wasn't even close to being a strike. And he just walked 2 batters. And Jared Triolo swinging out of his shoes at this pitch. And he goes down 0-1. Then a really nice sweeper slider gets thrown to him. He's down 0-2. And then at that point, he's cooked. So that was the most frustrating moment of the game for me. Me and the security guard, we're standing there. And we see him swing at this first pitch, and we just look at each other, and we're like, what in the hell is he doing? Like, the dude just walked 2 batters, and you're going to swing at that pitch? It was I understand the lineup construction because, you want to separate the lefties. Like, you don't want to just go, like, lefty,
sure,
lefty, right? But in moments like that, it bites you sometimes because Spencer Horwitz is the better hitter. You want Spencer Horwitz up in that situation over Triolo, and who knows what happens if Horwitz is batting with first and second, no outs. Like I said, Horwitz didn't do anything either, but who knows what that inning looks like without that just start to that Triolo at bat.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to shout this out. It's funny. I asked the question, I think, right as or before. Michael said it's a $5 super. Appreciate Michael, but he is, of course, asking who's making the decision of Triolo batting leadoff 5th and 6th. So yeah, there it is. It's Don Kelly, I assume, right? Like in Shelton's era, Cherington came out and said Shelton has the reins to do what he wants with the lineup. So of course, I do assume that it is Don Kelly making these lineups as well.
Yeah, Don Kelly's making the lineups.
Yeah, so
he's getting data like from everybody, but at the end of the day, it's his call.
Right. So yeah, again, like that was questioning to me. Why is he here batting 6th again? Like you mentioned, showed, and you talked about the pitch in there in the end. He swung at I think a pitch a foot above the strike zone earlier on in the game too. The first pitch of the at bat. So like he did not look comfortable today at all. Like the one thing at least for the 3 games that you didn't produce, but it wasn't like striking out. He's making contact. It wasn't great contact, but he's making contact at least. Today you really can't say too much in that regard. So yeah, I want to come back here. We'll go ahead and kick it to Cody here, but I want to come back and talk a little about the bullpen, maybe some of this defense, and maybe some guy in AAA needs to come up here sooner than we think. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, Text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
So we talked Braxton Ashcraft, how good he looked. In comes Isaac Mattson. Now, we did talk a little bit about this bullpen and how the bullpen, there's some qualities you see in the bullpen, how they can, they're very talented, but walks is a big issue for them this past series. Isaac Mattson comes in and he looked, both cases, you saw, the walks early, his first appearance, second one he looked better. He comes in today and it wasn't pretty. He does give up a walk, but another strikeout, scoreless inning. What did you take away from Mattson today?
Yeah, he got the job done. Struck out, got the strikeout on the fastball, got a couple of flyouts. Yeah, definitely, you want to limit base runners, but anytime you can go out there, face 4 batters, get a clean inning, you take it. So I thought it was a good outing for him. The only time he's really looked super shaky this year was that opening day outing.
Mm-hmm.
Since then he's looked pretty sharp.
Yeah, I think that's as a whole so far this bullpen. They worried a lot of people that first day. So again, especially with the walks. The second one, a little bit, but they were pretty much clean except for Barco. Today, again, he comes in. Also, Justin Lawrence comes in, and they shut down this Reds offense. But yeah, with Mattson, he looked just like himself. 13 fastballs, 2 changeups. No one understands. Nobody gets it, but him. It works. It really works. He throws the fastball at average 93 miles an hour. He's a righty reliever who throws 93 mile an hour fastballs. Here you go.
Yeah, and it was funny because if you watched the opening day broadcast, which was the one rough outing that he had, the whole time the broadcasters are just like trashing him. They're like, why is he just keeps throwing these fastballs? He's got to figure something else out. He's got to throw something with a wrinkle in it. And it's like, no, he doesn't.
Nope.
he doesn't really need to do that at all. He was facing a tough Mets lineup that day who was kind of on this fastball, but for the most part, no one can hit the thing. And yeah, today another scoreless 7th inning, which was big. Again, this was still just a 2-run game at that point. The Pirates offense, it wasn't doing anything, but once we've seen this ballpark, a 2-run lead in this ballpark is nothing. And we've seen this team hit some balls over the fence so far this year. 2 runs, keeping that at 2 runs was big. And then also, I'm sure we're going to talk about Justin Lawrence after him too. Yeah,
well, no, for sure. I was going to joke. Maybe that is the deception part. Maybe everyone's just thinking, well, he's not going to throw another fastball, right? And then it's another fastball. It's well, it can't be another one, right? And then it's another one. That's what's deceptive. It's just always a fastball, and no one thinks it's going to be another fastball. Anyways, yeah, so Justin Lawrence then comes in, and as I tweeted out, this is peak Justin Lawrence. This is why he can be such an effective reliever. I keep going back. It's just it's so Kyle Crick-esque to me. That sweeper is just filthy. And if he can, when he can throw it for strikes, and even not totally for strikes, right? But today, he was pounding the strike zone with it. It wasn't getting even too many swing and misses. It was just getting called for strikes because they're just plopping into the strike zone. Three straight batters, 3 straight strikeouts. Justin Lawrence looked solid today.
Yeah, strikes out the side in the 8th. Sweeper was dancing up there. I don't even know if anybody hit a foul ball off of him, to be honest with you. They were either looking at it or they were swinging through it. That was one of the best that we've seen. That was one of the best outings we've seen from Justin Lawrence since being acquired from Colorado last year. It was really, really impressive. And yeah, if that's who he can be when he's in the zone, it adds a whole other level to this bullpen because you do need someone to step up there in those middle relief innings. And if he can just, be in zone with that nasty stuff, he can be really effective.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Obviously he doesn't have these command issues. At least we don't assume he does, like Mason Montgomery. But the stuff is just so electric that, if you just throw in the strike zone, you're going to be effective. That's exactly what he did today, opposed to what he did his first time out. So again, it seems like so far in this short amount of time of this early on in the season, the bullpen has looked more effective outside of that first day. So yeah, again, the bullpen does its job to keep this a game. As mentioned, it was just a 2-0 ball game. They could easily go into extra innings once again, or the Pirates could end up winning it. So, up and down, the pitching looked solid. But I do want to talk a little about the defense because this might be harping a little bit. You know, I feel, even with it being said, like outside of the ground ball that Jared Triolo should have caught yesterday, he looks fine. There's just some plays that like maybe it's just out, just out of his range, and it just really does make you question. Like one today, if Connor was here, would Connor have gotten that? You know, and that's kind of the difference right now. So again, it's not as if Jared Triolo did anything wrong at shortstop. I'm not trying to put this that way. It's just like he is a third baseman, though. He is a third baseman playing shortstop. Is this a situation where had Connor been here, is he maybe getting that play that doesn't turn into a hit for Braxton Ashcraft instead?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think positioning had a lot to do with that too. There were a few balls that were hit where they were just positioned perfectly, specifically to Brandon Lowe early in the game. But yeah, in that fourth inning, they kind of just seemed to find the holes. And yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you if Connor Griffin were here, I don't know if he turns those into outs, but does he maybe stop one from going into the outfield? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's all. So again, like the defense wasn't superb today. That's going to be a problem. It didn't cost them, I think, the game by any means. Obviously, it was the bats today, and you know we really talked and harped on the bats today. But overall, again, like the pitching was really effective. This is the backs of this team is going to win because of this. They did it. It's just the guys didn't show up outside of Brandon Lowe and Ryan O'Hearn, who seems to be the only ones that are producing. Bryan Reynolds, I don't know, man. I mean, I know it's early. I'm not trying to go crazy right now. I'm not trying to overreact with just 4 games, but Bryan Reynolds does not look any better than last year.
He's off to an abysmal start. Just an abysmal start. The double play that he hit in when was that? That was the 6th inning, right? Brandon Lowe gets on base with a single to lead off the inning. So like you're trying to get something going. You've got your leadoff runner on, and then boom, erased immediately with that double play by Bryan Reynolds. I want to say the Pirates win that was the biggest swing in Pirates win probability from a negative standpoint outside the Reds run scored was that one play. It was like right around an 11% dip in win probability with that double play, because you go from having the tying run on base, up to bat with nobody out, and all of a sudden you got nobody on base, 2 outs. That was a killer. That was a big moment in this game.
Right. It certainly was. And to go to Oneil Cruz, because again, we discussed that all these additions are nice, but if Oneil Cruz and Bryan Reynolds don't get going this year and produce, it's not going to be for much of anything. And today proved it, because those 2 guys did produce that they brought in. But they can't do everything. You need these guys too. Oneil Cruz leads it off. There's a righty again. I'm an advocate for Oneil Cruz leading off versus righties at this point in time, but he goes over 4, 2 strikeouts.
Awful.
It wasn't
awful.
Too pretty for him either.
No, I mean, and the bats were terrible. Like I think the 2 strikeouts were on 6 pitches. And he's just swinging through. He's just swinging through pitches. Like it was bad. Cruz looked bad. Reynolds looked bad. Henry Davis over 3 strikeouts, bad. Because he had also same situation in the 7th inning. The Pirates again tried to get something going. Ryan O'Hearn single, Nick Gonzalez single, and then Henry Davis ends it with another strikeout. So yeah, like you bring up a good point there. We kind of talked all offseason that hey, these offseason acquisitions are good, but like at the end of the day, you still need Cruz and Reynolds to be better, and they haven't been better, and you get shut out today.
Right. Absolutely. I do just want to highlight, though, I want to talk about everything. Not all just as bad. Henry Davis behind the plate. Mr. Louisville grad over here guns out his 2nd attempt at a stolen base. 2 throws so far this year have just been so pretty, so beautiful. That release, so quick. That jump, so quick. Just it's amazing that we are still talking about Henry Davis struck out today 3 times. However, he just looks so good defensively behind the plate.
Yeah, he was outstanding back there. That caught stealing was big. That was a leadoff base hit by Elly De La Cruz that got erased immediately. And that was that the 4th inning?
That's a good question. That sounds right.
I want to say that could have been. I don't have my.
It probably was. I mean, it's Ellie De La
but,
Cruz, so it probably was the third. I'm sorry, the fourth.
So if it was the fourth inning, then that's like I said, that's the inning the Reds got all their runs. So if you don't
True.
get Cruz there, then that 2-run inning turns into a 3-run inning or a 4-run inning.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. But yeah, he did look really good back there. Outside of that, Jim, I don't know, man. I guess just this is one of those games where it's been the MO so far in this early season.
Deja
vu
all
well.
over again. Deja vu all over again. I feel like we're doing a 2025 post-game show. We did 100 of these post-game shows last year, and I gotta say it's not fun to do it for 101st time.
No. I mean, it's the Tiger Woods meme. You throw up his old shot, the new one, and just say, is this the 2021 post-game shows or the 2026? It's the same thing. It's just the same.
Yeah. But tomorrow, Bubba Chandler makes his debut, makes his 2026 debut against another lefty. So we'll see what the Pirates do against another lefty tomorrow. What are the FanDuel odds? What are the FanDuel odds on that? I got to imagine.
Oh, you know what? I didn't look for tomorrow. I just wanted to highlight here. Again, it's not to be overreaction in this sense, but Pirates still fourth in division. Their odds have actually dropped. They were just 550. They're now 600 plus 600 to win the division. Where the Cubs are still first, Brewers second, and Reds third. Again, this is one of those things. It's 4 games. It's 4 games, but you saw what happened last year. This team can't find themselves again in a situation where they're terrible for 2 weeks and get themselves into such a hole. Because, yes, is this team improved? Absolutely. But this team also isn't built to just, you know what, we're down in this huge hole. We're 10 games out on April 19th, and we're going to find ourselves in battle back in. I don't know if they're really built to do that. So this team has to start piling on some wins here. Again, I know it's just 4 games. I'm saying this. It is stupid. But Bubba Chandler is the type of pitcher where he could shut this team down. Hey, so Braxton Ashcraft did pretty much that also. Team has to also hit.
Yeah, Nathan had a good line on, I think it was Saturday, where it was like, I think he said it's only 2 games, but like, how long could you say it's only an X amount of games? Like, it is only 4 games. And I think we need to acknowledge that. But you can't let this continue too long, because you can't make the playoffs in April, but you can miss the playoffs in April. So don't let this thing keep sliding. Like, let's pick up another win or 2 here pretty soon.
Right, yeah, and please understand where we're coming from. We're not trying to doom and gloom right now. We're not just going all doom out here. It is just 4 games. However, this team can't find themselves doing what they did last year, right? Like, we can't have themselves, again, having this post game on the 19th talking about how this team has 4 wins at this time. So
absolutely not. Yeah.
Again, like, take a step back, but let's kind of get not you physically, Jim, but let's put things in perspective, right? Take a step back, but let's also try to maybe get and start stacking some wins here, at least staying at eye level of the water. I don't know. Let's not sink at least.
Yeah, like just don't get swept. You know, if you can at least don't get swept on the road, and then come home for 6 games and see if you can make some noise at home. There
it is. All right, Jim. Well, that's all I really have and wanted to bring up. Anything that you wanted to bring up that you saw, maybe?
No. Any sparse crowd here.
Security guards?
Sparse crowd here in Cincinnati. So I don't know about that Reds Pirates Twitter beef thing that we got going on, but Reds fans just did not show up today. It was 70 degrees at first pitch, and there were 17 people in the stands. So Reds fans stink. Do better.
You know what I have to say about Reds fans?
Loser. You're all a bunch of losers.
I don't know if you could hear that.
I can't.
It was the Tyler Losers. Anyways. Gotcha. So, let's get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. So I think it's you and I again on the post game where you'll be hopefully right back there on the field, but with a W instead of another L, because you will be locked away in Kentucky, never to leave the state ever again. Not even for the tailgate, Jim.
Yeah, we need to win. We need to win tomorrow. Show me.
All right. There it is. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Like, subscribe, go ahead and click that link in the description here. April 18th, we're having our live podcast. Oh, actually, that's not a podcast, live tailgate. Primanti Brothers will be sponsoring and giving us sandwiches. We have a whole section dedicated for us. They'll get those tickets there. Comes with $10 preloaded value as well. So come into the game, or come to the tailgate, get free Primantis, go into the game, get $10 added on, and get some of the new items and food that they're going to have available to all try out. So it's going to be a fun time. I promise. Win, lose, or lose. Hey, you get a Paul Skeens bobblehead.
Also, I'm pretty sure we're undefeated in tailgates.
I cannot fact check, will not fact check. I will say that we are, though.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah,
let's just lie.
See a guaranteed win.
Guaranteed win. There it is. All right. Guaranteed win tomorrow, Jim?
I don't know about that. I'm not going to say that. But on April 18th, guaranteed win.
There it is. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.